Hello, hello, and welcome. My name is Michelle. I am your emotional resilience coach, and today we are going to talk about how structure and routine can help us in our trauma. If this resonates with you, please do hit like, subscribe, and the notifications button. All right, so I'm going to get straight into it. For those of us who have had children, we know that children thrive on routine. The smaller they are, the more routine they need. I remember many years ago, I was in a place where I was feeling a little bit dissatisfied. I was a little bit edgy. I wasn't quite happy with my life, and I was kind of venting. And this must have been about 15 years ago when my older two were really small. I only had the two at the time. And somebody asked me, well, what is your day? What does your day look like? And I described my day. And I remember this person said, oh, no, that is way too much routine for me. Which was easy for them to say because they had grown sons and it wasn't such a necessity in their lives anymore. And we tend to think and believe that as our children get older, that routine isn't as important as it perhaps once was. But what I have discovered is that routine serves more of a purpose than just keeping us sane when our children are really little. It helps us to feel safe because it provides a sense of predictability. Now, this doesn't mean that we need to have everything run the same way. This doesn't mean that we need to have everything structured in our day from the moment we open our eyes to the moment we close on our eyes with no variance, no waving, nothing different. It doesn't mean it has to look like that at all. What it means is that we want a little bit of structure, we want a little bit of predictability, because especially when we're feeling triggered, especially when we're feeling that we have a little bit of overwhelm coming up for us, that structure and that predictability eases the brain waves, it calms down the panic, it brings us into the now because we know what is happening next. We know what is coming next for us. And we can say, I am in the now, I am safe. And it really just brings a sense of calm. And the reason why it does this is because when you were in a state of trauma growing up, when you were in dysfunction, when you were in this place of upheaval, you were always waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? You were waiting in suspense. You were in hypervigilance, waiting for something to go wrong, waiting for something to be said, waiting for the drama, waiting for the eruption, waiting for the chaos to happen. And you were living on the edge. You were living on your nerves. And because you were in that state, you were in tension. You most likely received headaches. You most likely received things like tummy aches, exhaustion all the time. It doesn't matter how much you slept, you found that you were always tired, is because your body was on constant alert, constant fear of what is going to happen next, what is coming now. And so when you are recovering from trauma, when you are in this place of healing, when you are finding a place of settlement, when you are working through it, you will find that it'll be easier for you if you set up a little bit of routine. Now, as human beings, we're always in a state of flux. We're always growing, we're always changing. Different needs are coming up, different demands, things in life happen. So don't get too cross or too upset if it doesn't stay 100% the way you think it should or the way you think it should look. Be flexible with it, let it grow with you, let it evolve with you, let it change with you, but allow yourself some structure in your day that can give you that sense of peace. It can calm down those brain waves. So you want to do something like maybe you wake up in the morning and before you do anything else, you're going to do maybe some yoga, meditation, scripture study, prayers, whatever it is that helps you start your day on a good foot, right? And it could look, or maybe you want to change it up a bit. You know, one day you're going to do meditation and prayer, another day you're going to do yoga. Maybe you're going to go for a run or a brisk walk, something that helps you cross the midline, because we want to get the two hemispheres of the brain talking to each other, because the left side of the brain is very logical, very rational, very everything must make sense. The right side of the brain is very emotive, and we don't want to live in all one or the other. We want these two to cross and talk to each other, especially when in the process of healing, especially when dealing with trauma and recovering from this. So perhaps you want to do something like walk and move your arms across like this. Or if you are feeling too overwhelmed, you don't want to do anything too hectic physically, you can cross the midline and just give yourself some love. Just give yourself a hug. Just rub your arms up and down. Just, I'm here, I'm safe, I'm in the now. Something that you can do to soothe yourself, to calm yourself, and to let you know that everything is okay. Maybe in the mornings it's just too much of a battle and it's just too much of a fight, and you wake up with a lot of brain fog and you're not good at shifting gears quickly and there's too much work. What am I going to do? What's next? Maybe do it something later in the day. Maybe you have a routine with your lunchtime or your dinner time or getting ready for bed. So often, you know, people who aren't morning people, it's too much for them and they get too overwhelmed. Shift it to the bedtime routine. Have a routine leading up to bedtime. What is it that you do? Maybe you want to shift your day there. Maybe you want to do some unwinding exercises, some stretching, taking off your makeup, listening to calming music, having a warm bath. Maybe you want to have a shower. Whatever it is your routine looks like as you wind down the day, as you're now going to go into sleep and you're going to go into rest, find something that you can do that is calming, it's nurturing, and it allows the process of the day to unwind naturally. And do something that is very self-care. This weekend, I was chatting to somebody who said to me, you know, I used to believe self-care was nonsense. Self-care was rubbish. Nobody had time for that nonsense. But I have seen that just implementing a little bit of self-care into my day goes a long way in filling our cup and allowing us to expand that space between when something happens and when we react. We don't just knee-jerk all the time into a rage or into a response, or we allow ourselves time to process a little bit, think about the best way we want to handle it, what is the best way we want to say, do we want to say or do anything? It allows our brain that time to actually work that out a little bit more, because we are filling the cup, we are loving ourselves, we are allowing ourselves to lean into the now, the present. We're allowing ourselves to relax into the moment and to not live in this fear of anxiety, this fear of what is going to go wrong now, how's it going to go wrong now, what is happening next, and we get ourselves into this state. Self-care is a great way and a great thing to just implement it into your routine somewhere, somehow during your day. A routine tells our brains that we are safe. It allows us to feel safe within ourselves. And for those of you who are suffering from trauma, CPTSD, any form of upset, this works wonders in allowing the process of healing to happen on a deeper level. I always love to hear from you. If you have any thoughts, please do so in the comments below, or come over to Instagram and say hi to me there. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, the notifications button, and as always, have a most empowered